So I thought I would just screen record a time lapse instead of editing it. This way I can zoom in on what I'm working on. This is an edit for a friend of mine. And I could just show you guys and talk about it without having to go and narrate or do an edit, which is a pain in the ass. I was messing around on this canvas for a long time before I seriously got started. This character is deceptively hard to draw because of how kind of precisely shaped he has to be. Everything's kind of soft and curved in like a very exact way. It's like, it reminds me of drawing an egg. A big part of this was getting the screen to work. Like, I wanted Afro to be happy with it. But, you know, Afro's color scheme is red and white. And the screen, like, I tried white and I tried red. It just didn't look right. So I knew blue. I had to go with that. Afro liked it though, so I moved forward. This is also, it was for a sponsor with them, so I was kind of worried that they would have an issue with the robot accents being red. So you'll see later I started making blue versions as well, just in case. But the way I've been going about these, like super precise kind of renders, is getting the silhouettes as strongly as I can beforehand, and then alpha locking those layers. I'm kind of new to painting straight in color, so you know, I don't know if these techniques are like super good or whatever, but I'm basically just kind of blocking in roughly, and I do have reference for this. It's based on some promo art that already existed, including the reflections in the glass as well. For the most part, just lasso tool, airbrush, very simple stuff with these like super clean, like CGI glass reflections. The head in the promo art is wearing a VR helmet, and it's also white. So I didn't have as much reference to go on as this, but my thought was if I can get the head looking good, then everything else will be a lot easier. So I definitely started with that first. And at the end there, you see I added bloom. This was me trying again, or for the first. This is like the first of 3 attempts of getting the face texture to like look robotic and like computer generated. I was using a texture brush in Procreate that ended up looking horrible. So this all went to waste basically. So yeah, I came in and mapped it onto there, but I did not like it. So that's the old face again. I'm just blocking in more shapes. These red bits were a different material, so it took a bit of fiddling with to get it to look right. The chrome was as hard reference as you could get. Something I've been doing a lot recently with these flat color drawings is just coming in and doing a bloom pass. With there's a bloom effect in Procreate that has a lot of knobs to dial. It gets some really sick results. Yeah, starting to get these reflections dialed in. Sorry if I'm yapping, I'm new to this. I started going off script on this one. I painted it metal and weird and cylindrical, and it just did not look very good. I ended up redoing it. I don't know why. I had this like idea for these little like speaker ears, and I thought it was cool. I was really going extra on this for no reason. Like I spent like twice as much time as I normally do on a thumbnail. I was just, I don't know. I just wanted to see if I could make this as cracked looking as I could. Got the, oh yeah, new neck, little afro, cheek marks. I thought that was cool. That's one of the only adjustment layers here. It's like add plus an overlay. The fingers gave me difficulty, I think, because I drew them wrong. In the actual model, they look like they're much thinner and sharper. So when I try to render based on the reference, it's like it's not working because I'm drawing a different shape. Yeah, I was going back and touching them up again, trying to figure that out. More ambient occlusion, more rendering weird red matte material that's very tough. I wish this was higher res so I could really zoom in. Trying to get red reflections in there. Still tough because on top of the reference being all blue reflections, there's also a super bright blue rim light all over everything, which I do add later, but I knew I had to get it accurate before adding that. Oh, this contact shadow at the elbow, I think it might be my favorite part of the whole drawing. As soon as I put that there, I was like, man, I'm kind of cooking. Oh, and the legs, since that did them last, like, they were so easy and they turned out so cool looking. I thought that was very neat. I gotta say, I was yapping at my art friends about this when I was drawing this. I think that the real secret to realism is do not be afraid of the darkest values ever. Like, so many contact shadows go to almost pure black, it's crazy. And as soon as you start dipping into almost black on your drawings, if you're going for realism, you'll find that, holy crap, it works a lot. Oh, this is me making the blue version. Oh, and blocking out the background. I was so, man, I had worked on this, I feel like I worked on the bear for like 7 hours and I still had to do the background. It was ridiculous. Oh yeah, I forgot the antenna. The VR headset, the reference is wearing, blocked most of it, so I forgot. Oh, and I did finally, so I tried again on the head, on the face, and it sucked again. I did, yeah, there. I did it in another canvas because I had to pull like a big dot array texture thing in and do a bunch of editing to it and everything like that. But I pasted my work into this one and it turned out much better. I got a little bit of edits at the end here. I was literally putting off doing the background, so I just kept tweaking the foreground because I just did not want to even think about starting the background. More reflections, more tweaks, more drop shadows or contact shadows. This is my variant that I was like, if Sony doesn't like the red version, personally I hated the blue version, so I was trying to make variants that would look a little cooler. But luckily they didn't have any issues. Blocking in these guys, getting the screens. This is the one I started on first, and it went really well. It went easy, and I was like, okay, this will not be that bad, I guess. Especially, yeah, I added these two reflections there, and I was like, oh, damn, I'm cooking. Okay, this will work. So I knew if I could get all the glass of these guys looking decent, then it would be solid. But they were a little tough to draw because there's no obvious light direction in the reference. It's just kind of being lit from everywhere because they're in a white void and they're shiny and reflective. So it's just all ambient occlusion and stuff like that. and reflections, obviously. So, and again, I knew I couldn't spend that much time on these. I had to finish this stupid drawing. I had been up like all night at this point. I took like a nap and I was like, I gotta get through this. But they started out a little rough, especially because I had taken that nap, so I kind of lost all my mojo. I wasn't warmed up anymore. I was trying to figure out, like, how do you render again? But eventually, I feel like I got them looking pretty decent. In the past, when I tried to render in straight color, I would put down like a shadow and a bright and then just kind of smudge between the two and wonder why the hell it looks so muddy. And, you know, so my conclusion was you can't use the blend tool in color. But I think that was the wrong conclusion because I'm just painting midtones now, duh, and blending between the midtones, and it looks significantly better. So yeah, you can use the smudge tool in color, apparently. So I use a lot of smudge tool, I use a lot of airbrush. But there are parts where, you know, you shouldn't smudge it because you don't want it to look balloon shaded or like way too smeary or not detailed. Oh yeah, I added the VR headset that the main guy was wearing onto this guy. Just because, well, we wanted to keep that element in the drawing somehow, and it just looks kind of cool. Also, he's like staring at his hand, and in the original, there's a little guy in his hand. But I thought, well, with the VR headset, he can just be staring at something in VR on his hand or something. So it worked out. I think my biggest issue with this drawing is I did a shitty job on this hand. It doesn't have any, like, there's no depth to it at all. It looks weird and flat. But, you know, what are you gonna do? And it only looks bad because I started disregarding the reference. I was getting lazy and tired. But it's not too bad, I guess. Oh yeah, more editing. And these guys. These guys, oh, I wanted to be done so bad. And these guys are like, oh, just change the art style real quick. Like, draw weird, furry, animatronic things. It's like, I've been drawing robots all night. So, yeah, I was worried that they would turn out terrible. And they turned out better than I expected. Not as good as the rest, I think. But I still like them. I still haven't figured out like a satisfying way to do fur that like I like, because I feel like it always looks really like crazy and messy for me. Man, I've been wanting to draw Donkey Kong Country stuff like crazy. Like I want to go ape shit, pardon the pun. But I really do. I want to go insane. I want to do like a 30-hour piece on Donkey Kong. Like I want to have like Toxic Tower and all sorts of crazy stuff and some kind of crazy worm's eye view looking up at King K. Rool with Diddy and Dixie climbing up chains and you know, just like ridiculous over the top kind of stuff. I think that would be really fun. Yeah, basically I'm doing the exact same stuff I was doing on the metal rendering, but with these fur textures, like or just like rough brushes in. But I'm just doing a lot of like mid-tones and stuff and like trying to break them up with various colors. But I don't know. I don't despise this. It turned out better than my past attempts. But it's very hard to get like proper cast shadows and forms and stuff. It just feels like I gotta put in so much time and effort to cleaning everything if I really want it to look solid. I didn't even ref these hands at all. I was like, I don't want to even look at those hands. I know they're going to be hard to draw, so I just did my own thing. And this guy, I hated this guy. I still hate this guy. Stupid jelly bean asshole. But he turned out kind of funny looking, I guess. I don't know why though. When I started on his snout thing, like I didn't reference the shading like how it actually looked at all. I did some cartoony ridiculous shit. I don't know why. It looks terrible, and I kept going back to it trying to touch it up. And it's like, if I just drew it right. These guys turned out good though. I'm glad I saved them for last because they're fun and they weren't too bad to work on. I almost completely forgot about the spikes and stuff because I planned on doing them afterwards. I was like, why do these look so boring? I was like, oh yeah, spikes. But getting those in there, it's like, oh yeah, they really come together. You get that super high contrast chrome in there. And then this is going to start having a seizure because, well, there's the edits on the snout, trying to get it to look not terrible. But yeah, you see this spazzing out because this is all the tiny little tweaks at the end there. Some reflection, some dust. Let's change the sizes of a bunch of stuff. Little add layers here, more effects. I made that hexagon shit in another layer or another canvas. More reflections. I was going crazy on the readability of this at the end. I was like, it just doesn't read very well. I don't like the values. So I ended up fucking with some overlays and a bunch of random stuff. And finally, I got this darker blue behind. And I was like, oh, there we go. This is so much better. This looks really good. But because I had sized everything, it took a lot of annoying masking and moving layers and stuff. But I finally got it. And that's it. Well, and this was me failing to record some canvas overlays or canvas previews. But that's it. Yeah. And now you can see it in HD. Super proud of this. Yeah, thanks for watching.